Is Las Vegas in trouble?
Could Las Vegas really be losing its magic?
Vegas must be dying.
Vegas may be down, but it's not out. Welcome to Theories About Things, where I pitch my theories on why some things are the way they are. Unfortunately, there's no escaping reality for Las Vegas right now, and that reality is that it's going through a rough patch. Tourism numbers are categorically down. Maybe even more concerning than the raw numbers is that its reputation is down. The sentiment that potential visitors feel when they're thinking about visiting Vegas isn't what it once was. The general sentiment used to be, let's go to Vegas, get a room, hit the tables, hit the bars, let loose, and have a good time. Nowadays, that's not how most people can even think of Vegas. Many people will say it has a lot to do with the prices in Vegas right now. I'll be the guy to go out on a limb and say it outright. It doesn't just have a lot to do with the prices, it's all about the prices. Vegas has become almost comically expensive. I say almost comically because you'd be laughing at how unbelievable the prices are if you weren't crying from the pain of paying them. The room rates are expensive. Now hotels charge an additional resort fee of around $50 per night on top of the room rate. That right there wipes out any chance of getting a cheap room at nearly any realistic base room rate. Just the idea of a resort fee makes no sense to me. Since when are the amenities of a resort considered a separate offering from your stay where you have to pay additional for them? The machines are tighter, the shows are expensive, the attractions are expensive, much of the parking is no longer free and is now expensive. The food is expensive, even the cheap food is expensive. Having grown up in New York City, I used to eat from time to time at a famous street food vendor named Halal Guys. Some of you have probably heard of it since it's now a huge chain. But it used to be just one location in Midtown Manhattan, and back then it used to be $6 for their famous platter. These days it's around $12. A few years ago, I went to the location that used to be in the food court at Caesars Palace in Vegas. That same platter was just shy of $30. No, that's not a mistake or me misremembering. Let's just say, that's not a price I'd forget. Do you know the anguish it causes to pay mid-tier sit-down restaurant prices for what you know is supposed to be cheap eat street food at a food court? Now the average person is tallying up all these hefty expenses for a potential trip to Vegas and realizing they just can't afford it, so it's no surprise that the bottom is falling out from the tourism numbers. I know, it all sounds like doom and gloom so far, but like I mentioned in the beginning, I think Vegas is down, but it's not out. My theory on why Las Vegas will be just fine is because it's maybe the singular destination in the country that still has to work for your dollar. No pun intended. And no matter how bad the value proposition gets, people still appreciate the act of a destination trying to earn their business rather than feeling entitled to it. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's look at it from the opposite perspective first. There are many destinations across the United States that really just count on their name and reputation to pull visitors in. I'll just single one out to start, which is New York City. I know that's going to cause some outrage. I've lived in New York City for over 30 years. I've worked in Manhattan for my entire professional career. I know it might sting to hear, but New York City is one of, if not the most overrated destination in the country. But because of its name and reputation alone, there will always be loads of people trying to visit, even if it doesn't lift a finger to do anything to improve itself. That's the case with many of the legacy cities in the United States. They're all dirty, dangerous, and decaying, but that won't stop most people from wanting to visit. Las Vegas doesn't have the luxury of operating like that. No one is going to Vegas for the history or the culture. They're going there to be entertained in one way or another. So Vegas has to constantly provide something to draw them in and earn their dollar. That's how you get a place as insane as Vegas. On the south end of the strip, there's a roller coaster running through a building that's shaped like the entire New York skyline crammed into one. Across the street, there's a 3 Michelin star restaurant, widely considered to be one of the best in the country, tucked within a giant emerald green building. On the other side of the strip, you'll find heart-racing rides at the top of a 1,000-foot observation tower. A few steps down the block, you'll find one of the most luxurious resorts in the country. Across the street from there, you'll find a well past its prime indoor theme park. The list goes on and on. Whatever concoction that every other city finds too outlandish to take a risk on, Vegas will build it in order to get you there. I think many people at the end of the day still appreciate that, despite those eye-watering prices, because Vegas is still trying to earn their dollar. Other legacy cities are just as expensive, but those cities feel entitled to your money and expect you to be satisfied with just being there. In addition to this, because of what Vegas is, it has to stay ahead of consumer trends and respond to them like no other destination in the country. Young people don't gamble in the way that past generations did, meaning sitting down at slot machines and playing table games. Vegas had to respond to this change and transition the city away from a gambling-first destination and focus more on what young people do find appealing. Young people are into events, dining, and sports, including sports gambling, so Vegas built it in hopes that they come. Many top musicians and DJs have had and continue to have residencies in Las Vegas. The Sphere, one of the world's most iconic event venues, recently opened up in Vegas. F1 holds a yearly race in Vegas now that essentially deconstructs and reconstructs the city once a year. For dining, Vegas may now have one of the highest, if not the highest, concentration of celebrity chef restaurants in one geographical area on the entire planet. Every iconic restaurant, from cheap eats all the way up to fine dining, is bending over backwards to open a location in Vegas. Howlin' Ray's from Los Angeles has a location in Vegas. So does Yardbird from Miami. So does Rayo's and Peter Luger's from New York City. And no better example illustrates Vegas becoming a dining capital than the world-famous Michelin-starred Indian fine dining restaurant Gymkhana from London opening its second location in Las Vegas. It could have opened that second location in any of a number of cities in the United States that are more similar to London, but instead, it chose Vegas. For sports, not too long ago, Vegas didn't have any major sports teams. Now it has a handful with more to come. Vegas recently hosted the Super Bowl and presumably will host more again in the future. In fact, as we speak, a stadium is actually being built right on the Strip on the former site of the Tropicana Hotel to host what is now the Oakland A's when they move to Las Vegas later this decade. Whatever needs to be done and whatever needs to be built in Vegas in order to get you to visit there, Vegas will do it. Say what you want about the prices, but one thing you can't say about Vegas is that Vegas doesn't try. Vegas tries harder than any other city in the country by a long shot, and for that reason, I think it'll be just fine. I mentioned earlier in the video that visitor numbers are undeniably down for Las Vegas. Just as a bonus theory for this video, I think that actually may be intentional. If you look around at basically any business sector currently, it almost seems like they've all stopped catering to small-budget, low-income customers. Spirit Airlines is constantly battling bankruptcy. The famous dollar stores have been struggling. Fast food doesn't even try to be affordable anymore. Have you been to a Walmart recently? It's not even that affordable anymore, and half of the store is higher-end items now. It almost seems to me as an outsider looking in that businesses don't see a return on investment in trying to cater to the bottom of the market anymore, so they've stopped doing it. Vegas is no different. All of the recently built resorts on the Vegas Strip are higher-end properties. Resorts World, Fontainebleau, Hard Rock is on the way. No one seems to be breaking ground to build the next Excalibur. Is that a coincidence? The visitor numbers are down, but that could very well be intentional. Vegas as a destination could have made a calculation and decided that they would rather have less visitors who can spend more than more visitors who spend less. From the outside, we're seeing declining visitor numbers, but on the inside, this may have been a deliberate plan. It's just the bonus theory. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about Vegas in general in the comment section below. Have you traveled there recently or in the past? Is it done for or is it here to stay? Does sad music play in your head when you see the prices of things in Vegas? If you made it this far in the video, it would be a huge help if you hit the like button. Thanks in advance. It really helps with the algorithm. Also remember to subscribe if you haven't already and you're enjoying the content. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.